In this video, we're going to be talking about how to draw a driver. So I'm going to be covering why the driver is the hardest club in the bag to draw, 3 different things you can work on to encourage the draw, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you the drill that I use to get people drawing driver every time. So people don't really understand that driver is actually the hardest club in the bag to draw. There's a reason Tiger Woods, the greatest ball striker and shot maker of all time, can draw his irons, hit anything he likes with his irons, but exclusively face the driver. And there's 3 reasons for that. So the first one is loft. So when a club has less loft, the club face squares up much later than a club with lots of loft. So the face is open for much longer, which means it's much harder to square up consistently. The second thing is angle of attack. So as the club is moving up, which is what we're trying to do to produce optimal launch conditions, the club actually is moving left. So the more up you hit, generally, all things being equal, the more left the club is moving, which obviously isn't the ideal swing path for a draw. In fact, it's the complete opposite swing path for a draw. So when we hit more down, all things being equal, we hit more out to the right, which encourages a draw, which makes irons, again, easier to draw than a driver. The third thing is ball position. So with the driver, we play that ball forward in our stance to try and give us a bit more launch because the club has no loft. And when the ball goes up in our stance, the club is already moving back around to the left. The further back we play the ball, the more the club's travelling in. But by the time the club head gets to our front foot, the club's actually then travelling left again. So all those 3 things combined basically make it really difficult to hit a draw. The other thing as well you could say is actually the drivers are really low spin nowadays. Back in the day when people hit drivers with 3,500 RPMs of spin, what you'd find is it's much easier to keep the ball in the air. When you've got these low spin, low loft drivers that we're supposed to hit up with low spin, generally a draw spins a bit less than a fade and it will actually fall out the sky a bit earlier. It's just a bit harder to control. So that's why we see a lot of the greatest players at the moment, DJ, Brooks, Tiger, all pretty much exclusively hitting cuts with the driver. That's not to say it's impossible, and for most amateur golfers, mid-handicappers, we definitely need the benefits of a draw. The draw has less spin, it's going to run a bit further when it lands. The other thing is just no one likes hitting a slice, and that slice into the trees is the sign of a player who's just not that good. So if we can work on our swing, work on our ball flight to stop that slice, get a more consistent draw, you're well on your way to improving your golf and lowering your scores. Being a good driver of the ball is my first big key in improving your golf and becoming a great player. I think if you can't drive the ball in the fairway regularly at a decent distance, then you're always fighting a losing battle when it comes to getting around in a low number. If this ball draws, you have to subscribe. Oh, not great. Bit of a low draw, but you get the picture. Please like and subscribe, it really helps. Let's get back to the video. So the first thing we need to talk about in terms of swing characteristics that are going to help us hit a draw is the club face. So to hit a draw, we know, everyone should know by now, that the club face needs to be shut to the path, slightly open to target but shut to the path. Because of the low loft and the face being open later because of the loft, we need to do something to get that club face closed early. So there's a few different ways you can shut the face. So the first thing is simply strengthening the grip, strengthening the lead hand and the trail hand into a stronger position where the V's of my hands point up almost beyond my trail shoulder. And that's going to encourage the club face to turn down earlier. It's going to go back more closed, and it's going to be definitely closed. And that's the first way. Now you might not want to do that because you might want to just stick to one grip for all swings, which I'm fine with. But that is one way. The second way is controlling your lead wrist, or my left wrist angle. So a bowed wrist shuts the face, a cupped wrist opens the face. We've got to watch that wrist stays at least flat, if not slightly turned out, bowed if you like, and that's going to help us keep the face shut and get that club face to where we need it, shut to the path at impact. And the other thing is a little bit more sort of in the feel, and that's just the hands release. So a lot of players hit a draw, they can open the face, but as long as they're getting their hands turning down on the way in the backswing, then that's going to shut the face and give us that club face impact. Now, that one's a little bit more variable probably because you're relying on good timing of the wrists and the hands on the way down. For some people, that's the best way. Some golfers need the face shut early. Other players are a bit more a bit orientated, a bit more handsy. They feel like they can just release it earlier on the way down, get the face shut, hit that draw. The second thing we need to cover when we're trying to encourage a draw with a driver, once we've got the club face correct, and this is something that we're going to address in the drill at the end, is your shoulders. So a lot of golfers, when they swing down, they're opening their shoulders too early. They're trying to make an aggressive turn through the ball. For some reason, people are always telling me they need to turn through the ball more. But actually, in doing that, what happens is they get to the top of the swing, they go, right, I need to turn hard now. And they turn with their shoulders, which you can see drags my hands outside the line, slightly over the top. And from here, it's now very difficult for me to get the club back inside, unless I do something really odd, which most people just don't do. So for a draw swing, what we need to do is we need to try and hold our shoulders back and get the club to move down without our shoulders opening. So that's going to involve shifting our hips across a little bit and actually moving our arms independently from our body. A lot of golfers struggle with the separation between arms and body on the way down, which is why you see so many golfers doing this. But we've got to get out of doing that if we're going to hit draws. We can't do that and hit draws. So we've got to swing up to the top, get our arms moving down, but keeping our shoulders closed. Some people like the feel of keeping the chest away from the target or just keeping their back facing the target. And that will always get that club shallowing, get the club inside, and it's going to help us get that inside path. And that combined with our shut club face, which we've just talked about, is going to give us a draw. The third thing we need to address when we're trying to encourage a draw is our spine angle. So what I see a lot teaching day-to-day amateur golfers is they don't have great control over their spine angle as they swing down. So what I see all the time is from the top position, they're almost keeping a vertical or if not even tilted forward spine angle on the way down, which is always going to produce an outside to in path. This isn't something that people often talk about, but we need our spine angle tilted away from the target in the downswing in order to give us a chance to shallow the club. It is, unless you've got some funky wrist movements or arm movements, which I'm fine with, it's very difficult to get the club to drop behind us onto an inside shallow path with a spine angle that points towards the target. So as we turn to the top, our spine angle should tilt away from the target slightly with driver, and then on the way down we're trying to then keep that spine angle tilted away, and you can sort of see that as I do that my shoulders remain shut, so this helps that, and the club's way inside. So we want to feel like our hips go forward and our head goes back. That's going to give us a good position to hit it from the inside. So we've got three things there. We're going to try and shut the face, either really early and then hold it shut, or you're going to try and close it more on the way down with your hands, don't mind which. We're going to try and keep our back to target, and we're going to try and keep our spine angle tilted away from the target. It's drawing. So that one started a little bit low left, it drew, but it still started probably a fraction left. So look, it's easy to say there that my club face was too close too early. So let's just see if I can get one starting right to draw. Probably close that face a little bit less. Yep, this is going to be my this is my slice where I've got an open face, I've got my spine angle tilted the wrong way, and I'm opening my shoulders. Oh no. So the drill that works every time. So what we're going to do is tee up the driver nice and high, because we do still want to hit up on the ball. We want to launch it up and high right and have it fall back down to the left. So tee the ball nice and high, get into your normal setup position. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to swing to the top and stop. And what we're going to do is now adjust our wrist angles so that the face is now closed, or even more closed than it normally is. And then once we've got our wrist angles here, what we're going to do is we're going to swing down and rehearse our draw impact, whether our hips are forward, our head's back, and our shoulders are closed. Then we're going to go back up to the top and then hit it. Yeah, that gave me a duck hook. I really like this drill because it encourages your awareness. It helps you develop some better feel as to the impact position we're trying to hit with our spine angle tilted away and closed shoulders. And I think if we rehearse it and go back up to the top and hit it, I think I always feel like once a player has the feeling of the good impact, they can then find it again. Where if you start from address and then just try and get into a good impact, that's quite hard to do in my opinion. Where I really like people to feel that good impact and then try and get into it. So up to the top of the swing as normal, shut the face with our wrist angles. So we've programmed in that closed face now. It's definitely going to draw, or the face is definitely going to be shut to the path. Then we're going to come down, rehearse our impact, hips forward, head back, shoulders closed, and then we're going to go back up to the top and hit it. And there's our draw. And once you've done that a few times, you've got a feel. I really like that drill. You get a feel for your impact. You're going to find that you're going to be able to draw the ball pretty much every time. So we've covered quite a bit there. We've covered why it's hard to draw, the 3 things you need to work on to draw it, and then my really good drill. So hopefully you've enjoyed that video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps me grow during this early phase of my soon-to-be massive YouTube career. And don't forget to check out all my other videos where I dive deep into different parts of the games, and hopefully there's something there you can learn from. Thanks very much for watching the videos. If you can please like and comment to boost the engagement, and subscribe if you don't already, that'd be great. If you like what I put out in these videos, you like what I say about technique, I can actually help you with your game no matter where you are in the world. So if you just want to click the link in the bio, it'll take you to Skillest, which is an online coaching platform, and there you can look to see what I do, and actually I can help you with your game. So analyze your swing, give you some drills and tips to help you improve, so we can work together to help you lower your handicap. But anyway, let's get back to the video.